Hello my friends, today we have a special guest, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking where to place trail cameras. And our special guest is Steve.
Hello there.
So let's get into the woods and see what we can find. Now Steve, this looks like it'd be a pretty good spot here. Looks like there's an old scrape right here. Not have much to say, huh, Steve? Alright guys, here I'm going to show you. Here's a scrape right here. You can see it's got a lot of old sign, but you can see a little bit of activity right here. So Steve, tell us a little bit about scrapes.
So scrapes are typically used year-round by bucks and does. It's basically like a calling sign. They leave their calling card to let other deer know that they've been in the area. So they typically will come up and they'll paw and pee in the dirt, and they'll actually lick and rub their antlers and put their scent on the branch right above. That's what's typical, and it's usually year-round.
So would this be a good spot to set up a camera?
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and do that.
All right.
Okay, this is where we went ahead and set the camera up right here. Now I want to give you the camera's point of view. Now I have the camera right over the scrape. Steve, why don't you go stand right near the scrape. So the scrape is right there, right next to Steve. So this will be a pretty good spot for a camera. So let's go see if we can find another spot. So real quick before we head on to the second trail, this is what we're looking for. Okay guys, we're here at the second spot. Steve already has a tree stand and a camera set up here because this is his home area. This is where he hunts. So we're going to go into detail why he placed a tree stand here and a camera in this same area. So let's switch over and talk to Steve a little bit. Okay Steve, now why is this one of your good hunting spots?
So typically what I look for when I'm out putting in tree stands and camera is I want to see feed, I want to see sign, and I also enjoy a good view every now and then. Typically I did this specifically because it's a great morning and evening feed stand. And behind us we actually have a really large field, overgrown field that the deer and the bears and everything else like to use. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so now I'll go ahead and I'll pan up and show you Steve's tree stand. There it is right up there. How high is that, Steve?
That's about 20 feet up.
Wow. That's like 5 feet higher than I want to be. Okay, now we're back over here where Steve already has his trail camera. Now Steve, are you worried about, we're in here tracking up your area, are you worried about scent at all?
Yes, of course. So typically what I'll do is I'll come set the cameras up a month or two before the season starts. and I typically will take 2, sometimes 3 weeks to check the camera. Some people like to check it more, some people like to check it less. But I personally believe that the less you're in here, the less you disturb, and the less scent you're putting down, so they typically will get used to the area. So that come game time, you can just come in, set up your stuff, and go to town, and hopefully get blessed with a wonderful harvest.
Well, that's great, Steve. Unless if you have a nagging YouTuber that always wants trail cam footage, this looks like a great spot.
Thanks.
Now you can.
Oh, by the way, there's deer poop right here too.
Oh yeah. A little bit on the old side, but definitely active. And you can see his camera right there.
So typically also, I forgot to include this, you want to make sure when you're putting in the camera that you have no limbs like this in front of the camera, because this is going to happen all the time, and you're going to have about 1 million pictures of a limb going right in front of your camera. So typically you want to make sure everything in front of the camera is limb free. If you can't, then my suggestion is just put it in a spot that's going to have less wind. If you can manage that, then I think you'll be pretty successful.
now, would this typically be a nighttime or a daytime stand for you?
Typically, I would actually use it for an early morning or evening stand. Because of my work schedule, it's typically an evening stand, and a lot of deer like to come and use the field at night. So typically I'm trying to catch them coming to the field right before it gets dark out.
Cool. All right, Steve. Let's check out that other camera you got.
All right.
Okay, we are at our third spot. Now, Steve, why are we here?
So, John, we're here because it's a swamp/bedding area, and these are, in most hunters' eyes, some of the best spots to be in, because typically, as long as you're right along a bedding area, that's when the sneak attack happens. So go ahead and check these deer trails out. We got one right in front of myself and one in front of John, and then we got the camera right back here. Go ahead and take a look.
Okay, see the pretty active trail right here. And then we have another pretty active trail coming out of this old dry swamp, brook at the time. And this is where we have the camera set up right here. And that's where we have it. And we have a pretty good area right here, and we should get lots of great pictures from this camera, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Alright guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little bit. Steve, thank you for your help.
No problem.
If you guys like having Steve around, we'll bring him around a couple times. We got some upcoming little adventures we'll probably be doing. And so I'll let you guys know some of this trail cam footage you see on my channel just might be coming from Steve's cameras. I'll see you guys next time, and you stay safe.
Take care, guys.